Hi teammates, now that we've read source 5, I'm going to model how I would code and annotate the text and then how I would write a gist statement summarizing the source. Great, so let's go down to our steps here. Number 1, reread the question. We've already reread our question. We know that we are looking for evidence that shows how the Iroquois used natural resources. So I'm going to go to step 2. Underline any similar words from the question. How did the Iroquois use natural resources to adapt to their environment? So I'm going to go back into the text and highlight any natural resources they used and how did they adapt to their environment. So in the first sentence, it tells me that the snowshoe, I'm going to underline that because that's the invention that they make using natural resources. And it could be made from any materials at hand in the woods. Underline that. Great. Now when we go to the second paragraph, it says that they created the snowshoe using a rim of hickory. Hickory is a type of wood. You can see the U shape that was bent into that U shape of the snowshoe. Then at the end of the second paragraph, it says that there was an opening for your toes using a network of deer strings. So I'm going to underline that as well. Great. All right, now we're going to go down to the third paragraph. The third paragraph tells us exactly how they use the snowshoe. So how did they adapt to their environment? Well, it says that they could walk much more rapidly or much faster through the snow when they had the snowshoe on. It says the word rapidly twice, so I'm going to underline that. And then the Seneca, which is one tribe, one of the 5 tribes of the Iroquois, they said they could walk up to 50 miles per day. So that's how they're adapting to their environment. And then they also mention in the third paragraph how important and useful the snowshoe was when they went on bear hunts. So I'm going to underline bear hunt as well. Cool, great. Now I'm going to highlight some evidence that I could possibly use in my body paragraphs. Remember, you want to pick a sentence or two that you can go beyond the quote and support and explain this evidence in your interpretation. So I'm going to pick some sentences that I can write more about and explain in my interpretation. So something I found really interesting and cool was that Seneca could walk up to 50 miles a day. So I'm going to highlight that pink because I could further explain that in my body paragraph. I'm also going to highlight this last sentence about the bear hunt because that is another way that they adapted to their environment, and I could go beyond this quote and explain it further in my interpretation. So I'm also going to highlight that pink as well. Fabulous. So now I have steps 1 through 3 completed, and I'm just going to write my gist statement now. Also, there is a space. Remember, if there are any unknown words in the text that you want to figure out using context clues or look up using a dictionary, you can write them down here. I put hickory. It's a type of wood. And I also put Seneca. Just a reminder, they're one of the 5 Iroquois tribes. Great. All right, let's write our gist statement now. So our CFS, remember, our gist statement must include the main who and the main what. We put the main who and the main what together into our gist statement, and that will summarize our source. So the main who is the Iroquois. And then what is this source mostly about would be our main what. The source is mostly about the snowshoe and how it was used. So I'm going to write the Iroquois used snowshoes to travel quicker through the snow and also when they're hunting animals. Fabulous. Now I'm going to highlight this purple and take a minute, students, to copy this down in source 5. Write a gist statement. The Iroquois used snowshoes to travel quicker through the snow and when hunting animals. That's how they used materials to create the snowshoe and adapt to the weather, especially in the winter when they had harsh weather. All right, awesome. So copy down my annotations and my gist statement. And now I'm going to give you a few minutes to do 2 minutes to do the comprehension questions. They are a little bit similar to our gist, but I want you to answer these in complete sentences on your own. How was this item used? And how might this item have helped the Iroquois adapt to their environment? So you're going to work on these on your own before we move on to source 6.